Well, for years, Somalia's northern Puntland state has been more stable than the country's volatile south. But that picture may be changing. Police in Puntland remain on alert amid a string of attacks over the past year by Al-Shabaab and another group of fighters who have joined the Islamic State terror group. For VOA, Jason Patinkin reports from Puntland city of Bosaso.
A checkpoint in the desert to keep ISIS and al-Shabaab from reaching the port city of Bosaso, an economic hub in Somalia's semi-autonomous Puntland state. Both have attacked this checkpoint in the past year.
Al-Shabaab are based on this side toward Kalgala Mountains, and ISIS are on the other side toward Kandala. We are always on standby. We are always careful. But with God's will, we will defeat them one day.
Police say the extremists try to sneak weapons, explosives, or militants into Bosaso almost every day. They say they caught an ISIS suspect 2 days before VOA's visit.
He jumped off his vehicle at that far mountain. I sent 2 groups of troops. Some took a vehicle. The others went by foot, and we surrounded him and caught him.
Security is tight in Bosaso, but authorities admit extremist cells are in the town. There have been 2 attacks on police posts in Bosaso this year, killing a handful of officers. Puntland authorities say al-Shabaab members are shifting north to escape military pressure in southern Somalia. Officials say the militants use weapons smuggled by sea across the Gulf of Aden from war-torn Yemen. Still, authorities downplay al-Shabaab's capabilities.
A few individuals can sneak into town, but that's about it. The meaning of these small attacks is just to say, we are still here.
Bosaso remains calmer than Somalia's capital Mogadishu in the south, where deadly bombings are common.
You can come across an accident or an incident, but there's no big threat that we now fear.
But as long as extremists remain in the countryside with access to weapons, Bosaso will not be completely safe. Jason Patinkin for VOA News, Bosaso, Somalia.
There have been several efforts at the national and state levels to fix the damage done on Nigeria's education sector in the northeast by the Boko Haram insurgency. Attention has been in areas of rebuilding schools and enrolling more children in school. But the focus is now turning towards ensuring that there are qualified teachers in the classrooms who can also handle the psychological impact of the crisis on children. Channels Television's correspondent Freedom Haslon compiled this report.
In order to holistically address challenges in the education sector in the Northeast, the Presidential Committee for the Northeast, PCNI, is organizing a capacity building workshop for primary school teachers in Adamawa State. The aim is to train primary school teachers to be better on the job and contribute to proper child development for those still living with the trauma of Boko Haram attacks. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Policy Development and Analysis, who is representing the chairman of the committee, explains the importance of the program in bridging the gap in the region's education sector.
To overcome this challenge requires that we are able to produce a new generation of youth that are not only literate, but also able to invent machines and tools that will change our destiny forever, but are also able to compete with others for space anywhere in the world.
For those in the academia, addressing education development and fixing the damage done goes beyond physical structures. Rather, addressing every area of education development is key.
On the face value, a student who has not eaten from home, when he comes to the class, I know that very many of you will be able to identify that this one has not eaten. But the problem we are facing now is more than issue of food or whatever. It's other people who have some other radical ideas in their mind, and you need to be able to flush some of these things out before they become problems to the society.
The program, among other things, aims to create a system that will encourage more children to be enrolled in school in the region, and in turn address the number of out-of-school children in the country, which stands at about 10.5 million.
The insurgency area where these pupils are affected gets to about 260,000 pupils. And then when you add up all together, it will give you roughly the beneficiaries those who are going to benefit from this training capacity building, including the parents, the pupils, the teachers, and the members of their school-based management committee who runs their schools.
The capacity building workshop is deemed timely, considering the fact that education, like other aspects of life in the Northeast, was affected by insurgency. It is an addition to efforts to improve teaching and learning in areas affected by the crisis.
Well, it's time now for a short break, but before we go, we remind you to visit the website channelstv.com for news and other programming around the clock. You can also find us at youtube.com/channelsweb. Still to come, remembering Winnie Mandela. Politicians and supporters around the globe pay tribute to a fierce fighter against South African apartheid. That story after the break.